Well, good morning, everyone. Here we are again in our 5th week of virtual preschool, and we're going to go ahead and do the days of the week in the calendar like we usually do. So who remembers the last day we had of school? What was it called? If you said Tuesday, you are correct. So the last day of school we had was Tuesday, then was Wednesday, and that's a forest class day. So then today is Thursday. So I'm going to move the frog over to Thursday. And then let's look at the month again. I bet most of you remember what the month is called, don't you? Yeah, it's October. So let's go ahead and count the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 was our last day of school, 14 was the forest class day, so today, 11, 12, 13, 14, what comes next? 15, and let's see, we have pumpkin, apple, pumpkin, apple, pumpkin. That's right. So we have a number 15 on a pumpkin. So today is, you can say this with me, Thursday, October 15th. And remember, we are still in the season of fall, or another word for it, remember, is autumn. It says autumn up here. So let's look out the window. Everyone's going to look out their own windows to see what the weather looks like today. All right, so let's see here. I'm going to kind of arrange these in a different way than okay, here we go. So when you look out the window, is it sunny? Is it cloudy? Is it partly cloudy? Oh boy, is it snowy? Not yet. Is it rainy? Is it stormy? Is it foggy? Or is it windy? Now sometimes it can be more than one kind of weather, so you might have to say that it's more than one kind of weather. Let's also try to figure out what the temperature feels like today. Now you might have to step out the door if you haven't been outside yet to see what the temperature feels like. So when you step out, does it feel cool? Does it feel cold? Does it feel warm? Or does it feel hot? So everyone will need to figure out what the weather is like at their own house today. All right, so this week we have been talking and learning all about apples. The last day of school we read a book that talked about how apples grow on a tree and what the apple tree looks like during different seasons, right? During spring, summer, fall, winter, what an apple tree looks like. So today we're talking more about apples, but our book today is just kind of a fun book. And some of you might have read this book before because it's a kind of a popular book. So let's see if anyone recognizes it as I pull it out of the mystery envelope. And if you recognize it and you know the name of it, you can shout it out. So I see a picture on the front of some animals with apples on their heads. What in the world? So if you've read this book though, you know it's called 10 Apples Up on Top. So that's what we're going to read today. And it's kind of a silly book. Oh, there's a little gnat or something flying around in here. One apple up on top. 2 apples up on top. Look, you, I can do it too. Now we have a lion and a dog with 2 apples each on their heads. Look, see, I can do 3. 3, 3, I see, I see. Oh, and the dog's looking, oh my goodness. The lion has more on its head than I do, says the dog. You can do 3, but I can do more. You have 3, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And it looks like another apple just fell right from the tree onto the dog's head. Look, see now? I can hop with 4 apples up on top. Wow, that's pretty amazing. And I can hop up on a tree with 4 apples up on me. Wow. Jump roping while walking on a tree branch, holding apples on its head. Look here, you two. See here, you two. I can get 5 on top. Can you? Oh, there's a tiger joining in now. It's an apple on the head competition, I think. I am so good, I will not stop. 5, now 6, now 7 on top. See? 1, 2, 3, 4. This gnat, goodness. 5, 6, 7. Seven apples up on top. I am so good, they will not drop. Oh my gosh, this tiger is walking on, it's either an electrical line or a phone line, I'm not sure which, with all those apples on its head. 5, 6, 7, fun, fun, fun. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boy, that tiger looks pretty proud of himself, doesn't he? But see, we are as good as you. Look, now we have 7 too. And now, see here, 8 on top. 8 apples up. Not 1 will drop. 8, 8, and we can skate. Look now, we can skate with 8. Wow, and you see these skates? I had skates like that when I was a kid. You just strapped them over your shoes. But I can do 9 and hop and drink. You cannot do this, I think. We can do it too. See here, we are as good as you. We all are very good, I think. With 9, we all can hop and drink. While they're all drinking some milk and hopping with 9 apples on their heads. I'm pretty impressed. 9 is very good, but then, come on, and we will make it 10. Look, 10 apples up on top. We are not going to let them drop. Look out, I see a mop. Oh no. What does the bear look like it's going to do? I will make the apples fall. Get out, you, one and all. Oh no. That bear must not like that they have those apples on their heads. Come on, come down this hall. We must not let our apples fall. of our way. We cannot stop. We cannot let our apples drop. So let's see, we have a bear with a mop and another bear with a tennis racket. Oh no. This is not good. What will we do? They want to get our apples too. Oh my goodness. Now we have birds going after the apples. They will get them if we let them. Come, we cannot let them get them. Look out, the mop, the mop, the mop. Uh-oh. One from the front, one from the back, and three coming in from the top. You cannot stop our apple fun. Our apples will not drop, not one. Wow, what a great idea, a giant umbrella to protect their apples. Come on, come on, come one, come all. We have to make the apples fall. They must not get our apples down. Come on, get out of town. And there they go with their giant umbrella being chased by a bear with a mop, a bear with a tennis racket, a bear with a hockey stick, and a bear with a bat, a bear with a pot, and a bear with a croquet mallet, I think, and three birds. Oh my gosh. Apples, apples up on top. All of this must stop, stop, stop. Oh, now they're on a bike. Now all our fun is going to stop. Our apples all are going to drop. Oh my gosh. Wow. They're about to run into that big cart full of apples. That would make a giant mess. Oh my goodness. All the apples are flying and the animals are flying. There's a wheel from the wagon, it looks like. Look, 10 apples on us all. What fun! We will not let them fall. Well, look at that. All the animals that were chasing them are now joining in the apple fun. All right. So, I have some new work to show to you today. But first, I'm going to tell you about two other activities that I had suggested in your the email I sent out last week for your mom and dad. One of them is washing apples, and that's super easy to set up at home. We always do it at preschool in the in the sensory table. We set up washing apples with scrub brushes and water and apples. It's really easy. And then the other activity is apple printing, and we always do that too, where you cut apples in half and use paint, dip them in paint, and stamp them on paper. So those are two activities that I mentioned for you to do, or that you could do in the email this week. So I want to remember to tell that. And then we have two other new works today. We have some apple pin poking, and I have a yellow apple, a red apple, and a green apple in your packet this week. And of course, you already have your packet with your pin punching or pin poking items in it. Now remember, you don't have these out at home unless you're using them for pin poking. Okay, you always make sure mom or dad puts them away where they're safe. So we're going to take out our pin poker, and remember it's in the cork to keep it safe. So when you're done with it, you always put it back in the cork. All right, and then we also have our little carpet. All right, so we're going to put that down. And I am going to just do one of these really quick for you, because it's always good to have reminders, especially when we learn something new. Remember our rules with the pin poker, they're the same at home or as at school, all right? You don't take your pin poker away from your work, okay? You keep it with your work, and you don't poke yourself or poke anyone else with it, all right? It's very, very important that you follow those rules. So now remember, when we do our pin poking, we put our paper right on the carpet, and we poke right on the line. And we want to try to get our little pokes really close together, okay? And I'm going to do mine really quickly because I want to be able to show you what it looks like once I pop it out, Okay, it's the magic of pin poking. So remember, you have to kind of move your paper around on your little carpet because it's small. The ones at preschool we have are big, but the ones you have for home are small. So you have to move your paper around with your helper hand as you go along. So here we go. Remember, you're trying to poke just on the line, not on other parts of the paper. And this is one of those activities that makes you have really strong finger muscles. And I know we all like to have strong muscles all over our body. Well, this will help. All right, I'm almost to the end, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like on the back first before I pop it out. Now I'm going to remember when I'm done to put this right back in the cork. Now I want you to see the back. You can see the back of the apple, the shape, right, is the same as the front. And then you're going to ask your mom or dad or a grown-up to pop it out for you, at least at first, because it's kind of difficult to get it out, especially depending on how close your holes are together. It might be easy to rip it. And that's frustrating when it rips after you've done all that work. All right, and there we go. And remember, this can be hung on the window. It looks really cool hung on both pieces. All right, and then remember, when you're all done, you're going to put your pin poking things back where they belong and give them to mom or dad to put up in a safe place until the next time you do it. All right, now this one is really cool. It goes right along with our book we read today called 10 Apples Up on Top. Now ours had to be called something different because if you take the name of a book that an author wrote and use it for your own, it's kind of like stealing, and we don't want to steal the author's title, right, for their book. So our book is called My Apple Count Book instead of 10 Apples Up on Top. All right, so you're going to remember to write your name, because we try to remember to write our name on everything. Miss Mika. And then you're going to open your book to the first page. Now, does anyone know what number that is? It looks like a letter O, but it's actually the number 0. And the number 0 means nothing. So we're not going to add anything to this page except for if you would like to trace the number. So I'm tracing the number 0, and I'm not going to do anything else on this page because 0 means nothing. Audrey, can you make, oh, thank you. All right, the lights went off again like they usually do. All right, we're going to turn to the next page. Let's see, does anyone know what number this is? Yeah, that's a 1. So on this page, we get to do something cool. First, if you want to trace the number 1, you can. And then, with your book in your packet, you also got a little baggie of either red or green paper apples. These are for this book. So 1, you're going to take out 1 apple, and you're going to put a little glue on the back of it, and you're going to stick it on the kid's head, just like in the book. Remember in the book, they started with 1 apple up on top. Here is 1 apple up on top. All right, then we're going to turn to the next page. Now, I'm not going to do all the pages with you all sitting here. You don't need me to do that. You can figure this out, right? So does anyone know what number that is? Yeah, it's a 2. So I'm going to trace my 2. And then I'm going to take out 2 apples from my bag, because this said 2. So 1, 2. And you're going to put glue on the back of those and stack them up on top of this person's head. 1, 2. So then we have 2 apples up on top. All right, I'm going to do one more page with you, and then I will let you figure out the rest of the pages. All right, so what number is this? Yes, it's a 3. So I am going to trace my number 3. Then I am going to get 3 apples out of my bag. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to put glue, whoops, there goes my glue cap. Put glue on the top back of each of these apples. So 1, 2, 3. All right, so there we have 3 apples up on top. All right, so then I'm just going to show you the rest of the pages. We have 4, we have 5, we have 6, we have 7, we have 8, we have 9, and lastly, we have 10. All right, so you can put that book together so you have your very own apple count book to read at home. All right, so that is what I have for you today. I'm going to see some of you today at 10:30 for small groups. And everyone else, you will see me again next week for circle time and small groups. And I hope you all have a great weekend. Bye, everyone.